Holy Going to pick up some Precode horror on Halloween. Haven't picked up a collection in some time. This is small, compact, golden age. You can't write this. Whoever's running the simulation is doing a good job. Well, it finally happened. Golden Age comics, found in the wild. Historic, pioneering comic artist, found in the wild. What is up, guys? Welcome to the Paper Chase channel. My name is John, and this video is going to be maybe one of my favorites I've done so far. A small box filled with Golden Age comics found for an extremely cheap price. And it contained some incredible historic comics and maybe my favorite, Precode horror. So let's get into this video. Of course, before we do, the typical request: like, comment, subscribe if you haven't yet. This video is a haul video. If you're not familiar with what I do on the channel, is if I find comic books in the wild, kind of give you a breakdown of how I found them, showcase what's in there, and then that could lead to maybe some good knowledge that I myself acquire by having to go through these books, and I spread that to you guys. So Facebook Marketplace, like I said, but I didn't find it. A good buddy of mine actually found it for me. And he texts me, and he's my buddy Albert, and he's like, "Hey, dude, did you see this?" And I'm like, "No, I sure didn't, but it's probably too late now because I wasn't on my game. I took a small break from Marketplace, but it was a small box of Golden Age comics, and I could see that one of those comics was a Precode horror comic book." Let me give you a tip if you're somebody who's trying to get something on Marketplace. Say, I can be there today. What time is most convenient for you? And of course, if your schedule allows, well, then you get over there, because if you're not first, you're last. Now, I'm going to tell you what I spent on this entire box of comics here at the end of this, and I think you're going to think it's pretty wild. And wait till you see some of these books in here. This is the type of collection I love because this is not my wheelhouse. So it was a pleasure for me to actually go through and do the research on some of these, because when I was looking through these, I knew what I was seeing in a broad spectrum. I knew that these were some artists that was definitely very promising, like Matt Baker, L.B. Cole. But, once you actually get into the depths of these issues here, very interesting stuff. And if you like comics, you really need to be well-versed on the history of it. And it just enriches the hobby for you. The more you know about its inception and where it started, it makes everything that comes after it even better. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to show you guys a box of kind of just the miscellaneous stuff. And then after that, we're going to dive into some books that I think will be nice to showcase, and you will see the biggest books in the lot. So there you saw the little appetizer video. That's kind of the fluff stuff. Some of the other things that, a lot of that stuff that I just showed is actually for sale already on my eBay page. I basically took all of the Golden Age books that I was either not going to keep or sell raw or get graded, and I put them just as a big old lot on my eBay page. It's already got a $75 bid on it. So I'm already making back some of the money that I spent on this already, and I still have a lot of the great stuff to show for it. So let's dive into these books. I got a few to go through. This is Ken Shannon. So look at this amazing cover art. If I know any of the information off the top of my head, like I said, I will say it or put it on the screen. But this is actually a #1 issue here. #1 issues, in the 90s doesn't mean jack shit. You get to #1 issues in the golden age, and then even just because of it's being a #1, can still hold a little bit of value to it. A lot of these, the conditions are within the 3.0 to maybe the 5.5 range. But yeah, this one here is completely intact. Staples intact. Then we get to the more humorous side of the Precode horror world. This is Uncanny Tales #25 by Atlas Comics. This came out, I believe, in 1952. But again, another completely intact book here. An interesting cover. The Man Who Wasn't. Kind of cool. Play on the Invisible Man there. So, of the Precode horror stuff, this stuff I think is kind of funny and interesting. I like the more horror stuff. I mean, you can barely call that horror. It's more creepy, if anything. But this next one is definitely in my wheelhouse. This is Dark Mysteries #14. Skeleton cover. Very, very cool. Unfortunately, on this one, the cover is detached. But that's okay. This is staying for sure with me in the PC. Even if you have a Precode horror comic, especially something with as awesome as a cover as this, even if the cover is detached, you're still looking at, it's not a complete loss by any means. This thing still has maybe $50 to $100 in value, just the cover being completely detached, even in its 0.5 version of itself. But this is not for sale. We'll not sell this, and this is just something cool just to add to the Precode horror collection. All right, now let's get in to some very interesting stuff. So a lot of what kind of deterred me from Golden Age comics when I first started collecting is all of these romance comics. Nothing that I would be into. And even the art wasn't even that appealing to me. That Golden Age, good girl, early comic book art style is just something special because it's original to its time period, and for the most part is very far removed from where things are at now. When you look at things like Mark Spears, Mike Mayu, all of these modern artists doing all of this incredible work on computers and Photoshop, this stuff is just so true and original to the inception of the hobby and of this style of art, and it's just very, very cool to see in person. One of the most famous comic artists, especially for good girl cover art, is Matt Baker, and there's a few Matt Baker covers in here. Right here is Teenage Romances issue #20. Now this is probably a 0.5 because it is detached. The cover is detached. But this book right here, and again, like I said, I'll put comps on the screen. Even this book right here in its 0.5 range holds a good bit of value because Matt Baker is just the man when it comes to good girl cover art. Him and Alex Schomburg. This is some of the most fun that I have in this hobby is after you get something that you know is promising, but you're in a realm that you're not 100% comfortable in, and you start doing research. And this is when I have so much fun. Now, there's one in here that I did know, and I knew when I saw it, I was like, this is a big book. I could just tell, and also I'm pretty sure I've seen it in the past. I think maybe in a podcast, just saying how hard to get of a Golden Age book this was. I knew the artist behind it just by the look of it, and I knew when I saw that book, I said, this is something for sure. So continuing on now with some of the more higher grade Pictorial Romances issue #13. This is another Matt Baker cover. This has a pretty heavy spine roll that needs to be fixed. Once the spine roll and this is fixed on this and this thing is cleaned up, I definitely think I'm approaching the 5.0 range. I cannot wait to start working on these, to fix the spine rolls, to clean these books. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a good time for sure. And then here's another one of his that I like a lot. Actually, looking at this cover more and more in detail, I was just like, I get it. I get the appeal of this art style. This is Wartime Romances, issue #5. And you can see just the look of it. And it says at the bottom, I was a soldier's pickup. It started as fun, but soon became a nightmare. It's a very cool Matt Baker cover. This one I think is going to hold a good bit of value in its potential grade. And then this is the last Matt Baker cover. This is True Love #6. And this one too, I think could maybe hit around the 4.0, 4.5 range after I do some work on it. Going to one of the better condition books in here. This is True to Life Romances issue number 15. And this is an L.B. Cole cover. So, you know, cool book. I'm not super stoked about that one as far as just the appearance of it. I mean, I like L.B. Cole. I'll show you one that I'm definitely more interested in as we go on. This one right here snuck up on me. Did not think that this was going to be anything at all. Young romance, and I can't... What is the issue on this? It might be issue 39. I'll put it on the screen, but this is young romance. And the significance of this is it came out in 1951, I know, but this is Joe Simon and Jack Kirby created. Joe Simon written, Jack Kirby art on the inside of this.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my right time.
This is all, you know, 10, 11, 12 years before Fantastic Four and the birth of, you know, Marvel in their prime. Amazing to see Kirby art from this long ago. So very, very cool. This is why you cannot pass this stuff up, because, you know, for most of us guys, when we see like this, especially on the younger side, younger guys, we have no interest in this whatsoever. But once you learn the history behind this, it's the coolest thing. Same goes with this one right here. This is Young Love, issue number 42. Also has some early Jack Kirby art in it. This one right here, Personal Love, issue number 14. That is Kirk Douglas on the cover there. And then next we have Romantic Love number 11. This one actually holds a good bit of value in its potential grade, all because of the Good Girl cover art. And now for the goods. The next three are my favorite books probably in this entire thing. Into the Precode horror for the next couple of books. Witch's Tales, issue number 21. Lee Elias cover. Same artist as Black Cat 50. So, yep, 100% complete. Presents very well. And this is the one that was in the listing that, you know, made me shit on myself a little bit. Out of the Shadows, number 9. This thing's pretty cool here. And, you know, this one, Till Death Do Us Part, look at this. And this one, even in its potential grade, is like a $300, $400 comic. Now, even with the Precode horror, one of my favorite books in this whole thing, and I think one of the most expensive books in this whole lot, is Popular Teenager Secrets of Love, issue number 11. This is L.B. Cole in all of his glory. And this is a very hard book to find. Again, I'll put some comps on the screen.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go.
The only one available for sale, I think, is a 3.5, and they're asking $1,800 for it. I think I can get this to the 4.5 range. This thing is incredible. Halloween just ended literally a couple of days ago, so Christmas is around the corner. Mariah Carey is let off her leash. She's ready to wreak havoc on all of us. What a perfect timing to get this. Now, for what I paid, for everything that you saw in this entire video, I paid a total of $200. And apparently there's more where this came from. So I couldn't be happier. I'm so stoked. Of course, I will do follow-up videos for whatever else emerges out of this collection here. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Have you guys ever run into any of these in the wild? Do you have any of these? What's your thoughts? So that'll do it for this one, guys. Thanks, as always, for watching. Hit like on your way out if you haven't yet. And I'll see you on the next page.